So what is the next process after implementation? Come on, let's have the juice.
Evaluation.
Yes, evaluation. So if you do all these 4 processes and leave the training, how would you find yourself?
Incomplete.
Can you do these 4 steps and leave the training process?
It would be incomplete process, sir.
Fantastic. But many of
Very confident.
Yes, you will not feel confident as a trainer. You will not have the confidence as to how you have done the training. HR will not be able to understand what learnings have been transferred to the participants, what behavioral changes have taken place, and what performance addition or what performance and competencies have been added to the participants. Am I right?
Yes.
So what do you think are the different stages of evaluation?
See, what I feel, related with evaluation part, right? Many a time we come with the different theories in the class, right? And if theories are there, if it is backed by certain role plays or stories, right? It helps the people to occupy or to understand that process. But many a time when it is only a theoretical part, by only sharing the information at that point of time, it's evaluations become from trainer's perspective, evaluations goes low. But when it is becoming more role plays where participants has to come and through their role plays, if they are able to bring out certain good results, it shows that from the trainer's perspective, the evaluation is that it is somewhere or other, it is highly confident that the trainer has done well in the session. What I believe, this is the basic thing that we understand. Thereafter, many a time it happens that the HR professional or the organizations are not going for follow-up sessions. So unless we are not going for follow-up sessions, we would not able to understand the kind of behavioral shift that we could able to bring into the in trainees. So what I believe, evaluation is somewhere or other trainers could able to evaluate at that point of time that yes, he could able to bring some changes into the participants.
Great. So you are talking from the trainer's perspective that he needs to understand whether he has imparted the training, and the HR needs to carry this forward after the training to make sure that whatever training has been done has been implemented and it has been imbibed in the behavior, the performance, and the competencies of the participants. Am I right?
Exactly.
So this is coming from a trainer to the HR, right? So
right, and this is there should be some follow-up sessions so that trainers could able to evaluate. Many a time it happens for 1 day session or 2 day session, or so many a time it is not possible to understand what kind of shift has been happened with the trainees.
Anyone can enlighten us? There is a process for the trainers to evaluate. Can anyone share that? Anyone could enlighten
us? That is Kirkpatrick model, sir.
Great. So, yes.
See, most of the trainers are, how do I put it? It might become a little controversial. How many of the trainers are willing to go ahead and evaluate?
So now this is coming from the HR.
The training has ended. Give me the money. I am off. If you need another training, call me up or else मेरा दिमाग मत खाओ. 5,000 में क्या चाहते हो, 10,000 में क्या चाहते हो, 15,000 में क्या चाहते हो. That is the kind of approach that we find in the training divisions. And when it comes to the HR is not very much inclined and to involve the trainer or the external training I'm talking about, not the internal training. Maybe they are more positive with the internals, but externals are blocked with certain pieces of data. Right. They are employed for a specific, sharp shooters को जैसे हम लोग एक प्रोजेक्ट देते हैं, सुपारी देते हैं, वैसे है सुपारी की ये दो और सबको जो है सो ये चीज आ जानी चाहिए. And then once you are done, you are out of this system. That is
So you
where
mean
the
there is a disconnect between the trainer and the HR in this case?
absolutely. So this evaluation, is it a priority with the L&D?
That is the big
If it
question
is
mark.
there, then only things matter. And if it is a priority, then at the time of analysis itself, we bring in the concept of Bloom's taxonomy.
Yes.
When we bring in the Bloom's taxonomy to identify and create the right kind of objectives, then Bloom's taxonomy in itself gives us the various tools, the right tools to be able to achieve that. And then if we go through the entire process and then we reach this evaluation phase, and then as Francis Lobos said, Kirkpatrick's evaluation model, it takes a lot of courage to go up to the fourth level and map it to the actual business bottom lines. Mapping a particular training with the actual bottom lines of the organization's financials, that takes a lot of courage, not only on the part of the trainer, but also on the part of the training division as such. And naturally, the top management, if they have so much of trust in the training division being capable of going ahead and bringing changes to the bottom line figures, then only things work. Or else evaluation ठीक है सर, एक feedback ले लेते हैं और फिर 20 दिन के बाद एक OJT कर लेंगे और फिर उसके बाद 3 महीने के बाद हम एक ये मंगवा लेंगे और 360 degree
So there is no structure. What you're saying is many companies don't have a structure in place to have a specific process to ensure that the trainings are clearly evaluated and there are marked return on investment or ROTI for this particular training, right?
हिंदुस्तान में रोटी नहीं मिलती है साहब, ट्रेनिंग में तो नहीं मिलती है.
That's what I'm saying. The return on training investment is not clearly defined and outlined, and now we can say that is the main gap in the analysis phase of the training. Can I say that?
True.
So although we say analysis is the first phase, but evaluation itself, actually, even if you go through all the 4 processes, the evaluation actually disrupts the whole process because it doesn't take it to the ultimate objective goals set out by the organization for long-term competitive development. Am I right?
Absolutely.
So thank you very much. Great feedback from the trainers, from the HR, and great sharing. So evaluation is the final process, as many said.
Ridwan sir, I just want to add on here. Sorry. Luckily or unluckily, I have been with 2-3 corporates where it was a long-term engagement. It was not for a short-term engagement where a set band of people were given to me with an initial bit of whatever the evaluation pre-test we did it, but completely on one-to-one analysis or with NLP coaching and various other eclectic type of counseling was done, and individual assessments were analyzed, and the management were happy to take it, sir. Yes. That has been with luckily I had been with one automotive industry and now presently handling 2 such big projects. Maybe I do agree with what Rahul told. With micro such programs do come up, but in case of these sort of macro programs comes on, and rightly what he told is the trust between the trainer and the top management gets through. We can give results through effective monitoring. Thank you. Sorry.
Yes. No. You're right. Guru Raj.
I'm sharing it, sir.
No, it's very important. What you've shared is right. Many top companies like TCS or other the top rung, they have a clearly defined process of training and development where they give feedback to the trainers who they employ. They demand the return on investment. They have a clearly outlined process where they implement all these. So there are exclusions. There are other cases, of course, but there are companies who are also doing this. So now one more question I would like all the audience to answer is evaluation only in the last stage of the process?
It can be pre, it can be post, even in between requirements. If required, it can be even in the middle also.
Yes. So
Nothing wrong. It again depends upon the understanding between the trainer and the HR, in fact, on the top management, and finally seeing the outcome for per se for the overall development.
right.
That's what I feel. With changes are always there.
Yes,
When we are
Gururaj.
designing a training program, it is designed and segmented into sections. So one module is divided into chapters. Chapters are into sessions, and that is why even at the session level, individual objectives are built in. And at the end of the session, all the objectives of the session must be evaluated then and there. In addition to this, at the zero level evaluation, the moment the trainer is engaged into the activity of delivering, at that point of time, his first level of evaluation is continuously going on. That is why it is known as an online assessment. So ongoing assessment. I'm not sorry, not the online, but the ongoing assessment. The moment we start interacting, I'm getting cues from you, whether I should be repeating or not. That's the form of evaluation.
Questioning.
When you are asking me for an acknowledgement whether you got it or not, that's a form of evaluation.
Fantastic.
So those evaluations will have to be a ongoing thing, and at the sessional level, wherever we are building up the objectives of the session, that must be ending with the evaluation of those objectives. That is how summative assessment and then formative assessments can be done. And then once we have reached the end of the session, then formative and assessment, and they can be put together, the figures can be put in, and then Kirkpatrick's model comes into picture in a big way. Then the second level, third level, and fourth level comes in. That's how we have been taught till now. Maybe we can change it.
Okay. So another question I would like all the audience to ask, I'm asking, there is this loop. I am showing that evaluation again goes into analysis. Why am I saying that?
It has to. I mean, okay. Let me take a backseat for some time.
Because
Yeah.
after evaluation, you will know further the further scope for once you analyze, you know further scope for trainings.
Right. Rahul, you were saying something? Yes. Thank you very much. Yes, you're right. You need to see what more improvement you want, right? Yes, Rahul.
When we evaluate, we come out with some valuable information. And this information will be of two types. Either it will give us where our efforts have succeeded, or it will give us information where our efforts have not succeeded. So we need to naturally go back and take care of the things which we have failed on. We just cannot leave it that once the training has been done, I mean, we did not succeed in it, no worries. So that means that the training need identification which was done still stands. So a new training program needs to be built in. So this goes as the input to the analysis phase again. In case there are certain feedbacks, the evaluation tells us that we have achieved success. We have been able to achieve the objectives of the program. Then this gives us a set benchmarking process. This also gives us a best practices can be identified, and this can be incorporated in the rest of all the training cycles as standard processes because they have given us the results. So evaluation is done with the purpose of further improvement and also evaluating whether our current efforts have been done correctly or not. So it comes out with a huge benefit to the organization. In fact, more than the training, evaluation is the key for building up a learning culture in an organization.
Thank you, Rahul. You have actually covered all the necessary topics why evaluation needs to be a cyclic process. Just adding on to that, Why do we go back from evaluation into analysis? As we talked during our earlier module, that there is a dynamic environment around the organization. Am I right? There is a dynamic external environment which is always challenging the organization. There is a changing scenario in the political, in the technological, in the manpower, in the skill sets that is constantly changing. So if I am skilling my people for the current process, I cannot rest assured that this is going to be a permanent skill set. I need to keep on analyzing and making more improvements and designing and improving my programs. Am I with you for participants? Hello? Rahul, do you think that is a good idea to think about?
Rizwanji, can I make a comment, please?
Yes, sir.
My take on this is that as far as the evaluation is concerned, today when we talk of evaluation, yes, it has to be absolutely continuous evaluation. Okay, continuous evaluation in the sense that there will be several iterative cycles of evaluation which will be taking place right from first stage itself of the whole model. From the first phase itself, it will be taking place, and you need to take corrective action and preventive action as the training proceeds in terms of that. So that part of the summative evaluation will be done at the end, but maybe continuously you need to evaluate. And the other question is that you need to very much connect the evaluation with the planning again, and possibly with the whole cycle again. And that may be on that, whatever thing need to be corrected, we need to do. And the other thing is, yes, there are organizations, there are quite a number of organizations today where a very detailed type of study is done, a real evaluation is done, including the fifth stage of evaluation, namely based on the Jack Phillips model, which is there, of maybe looking at the ROI part. It is not, many organizations may not talk of it so much, but ground reality is in the organizations, it is very much done. You talked in terms of one organization, namely you talked of TCS. TCS does it, and possibly in the whole group of Tatas, that is very much followed, because that is one particular component in the Tata Business Excellence model, which they are doing as a part which is based on the Malcolm Baldrige model of excellence. And that way the excellence comes in. And that is not the only group. Today, a large number of business groups and even organizations are adopting that type of practice. But maybe they don't talk of it. It is not publicized also or published also. But not that organizations are not doing it. It is not just the happiness sheets. At the same time, fact remains, there are many organizations where only happiness sheets are circulated at the end of that. And they feel that the evaluation is done and people pat on their own backs. Trainers are, everybody is happy. Trainers are happy, participants are happy, organization is happy with the happiness sheets. So that is the reality of the picture. One has to see, but the connect has to be there. It's absolutely mandatory that between the evaluation and the assessment and other stages, there has to be a connect. And that is being done in some companies. Good trainers, good training professionals, good L&D and talent development companies are doing it. Some others are not doing it, but that gap is there. We need to bridge that gap.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Kamath sir. Kamath sir, I would like to compliment you and thank you for being a part of this program. Kamath sir is my professor in ISTD, and I would like to thank Kamath sir for being here. And
it's a pleasure, and it's possibly not only that, it's for me, it's a learning exercise. Please, I'm here as a participant.
So
but
humble,
I'll give my views, certainly.
So humble of you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So thank you very much, participants, for creating an interactive session here. And now we are going to go into the exciting part of it. Like, we are going now into the